Crises occur every day in all aspects of our lives. While outside sources may be the culprit for these events, oftentimes they are self-inflicted. Corporations are no different. While current events often thrust these organizations into the fire, the most damning situations are frequently caused by the actions of the company itself. In 2016, one of the country's largest financial institutions, Wells Fargo, was accused of placing profits above the financial well-being of their customers. Through fraudulent processes, Wells Fargo was able to achieve record profits throughout the Great Recession of 2008. However, these profits were ill-attained, and the subsequent reveal of how Wells Fargo achieved those heights caused Wells Fargo to face numerous lawsuits, regulatory fines, and congressional investigations, resulting in their inability to fully regain the public trust. Prior to Wells Fargo's indiscretions being brought to light, the financial institution was considered a rising star during an era in which America's public faith in financial institutions were deteriorating. Coming out of the financial recession of 2008 to 2010, Wells Fargo had developed a long-standing reputation for admirable management practices. These practices allowed the financial institution to purchase its competitor, Wachovia, at the height of the crisis. According to Harvard Law Review, this merger allowed the institution to become the third largest bank in the entire country. Wells Fargo remained unharmed as the country exited the worst financial crisis in a century. In fact, several of their executives received several prominent awards, and the company achieved the largest total shareholder returns between Q1 2009 through Q4 2015. These returns built an aura of success and stability around the financial institution. According to Wells Fargo CEO John Stumpf, the more products a customer has with Wells Fargo, the more information the bank has on that customer, allowing for better credit, products, and pricing decisions. Customers with multiple products are also significantly more profitable. These revelations resulted in the development of a business practice known as cross-selling. This practice, in conjunction with the company's strength during and after the recession, led to the shady business practices employed by the company's staff. The stature of Wells Fargo during one of the country's most troubling times contributed to their feeling of invincibility. While most executives would find solace in the fact that the company was staying profitable, while their counterparts were seeking bailouts, they instead decided to prioritize business and profits over the well-being of their customers. These cross-selling strategies would become the basis for bonus structures doled out to branch-level employees, with personal bankers receiving bonuses up to 15 to 20% of their salary, and tellers receiving up to 3%. These bonuses, combined with high-pressure sales quotas, were brought to the limelight in 2013, when an NPR report revealed approximately 30 employees being terminated for forging signatures of customers in an effort to open new accounts without customer consent. Although these distasteful actions were proclaimed as isolated events, over the next 5 years, 2 million unauthorized accounts were opened, of which 115,000 incurred fees, which totaled 2.6 million and resulted in 5,300 employees being terminated. Their chronic complaints led the company's board of directors to conduct an independent review of its business practices. A Los Angeles Times investigation revealed that the company's independent review uncovered the permanent incentives were unattainable in 50% of the regions they applied to. Management tolerated and profited off of low-quality accounts, which were described as products that were later canceled or never used. Decentralized nature of the organizational structure reduced the company's ability to manage risk. These shady business practices did not go unpunished. Following the crisis, Wells Fargo instituted policies and self-inflicted punishments in an attempt to regain customer confidence. Wells Fargo agreed to centralize the company's organizational structure, and in addition to the restructure, the company rescinded $76 million in stock options and equity from top-ranking executives, and distribute over $2 billion in various settlements. The Department of Justice also recognized that these transgressions required additional damages, but their priority was to deter any other institution from following their blueprint. The Fed decided to place Wells Fargo under a program known as an asset cap. The program would prohibit the bank from growing larger than it was in 2018, a rarity in the banking industry. Follow the issuance of the $3 billion penalty and asset cap, U.S. Attorney Andrew Murray for the Western District of North Carolina stated, "When a reputable institution like Wells Fargo caves to the pernicious forces of greed and puts its own interests ahead of those of the customers it claims to serve, my office will not sit idle." Today's announcement should serve as a stark reminder that no institution is too big, too powerful, or too well known to be held accountable and face enforcement action for its wrongdoings. According to Yahoo Finance, consumer faith in the institution dwindled and stock prices fell. The company's growth remained stagnant until penalties were lifted just this year, nearly a decade after their transgressions were first revealed. Ultimately, the scandal highlighted how important it is for financial institutions to operate ethically in order to maintain public trust. The Wells Fargo 2016 account fraud scandal was a clear example of one of these establishments prioritizing profits over ethical business practices. The scandal caused Wells Fargo to face regulatory fines, congressional investigations, resulting in their struggle to fully regain public trust. This case should serve as a warning to all financial executives that shady business practices have not and will not go unnoticed by our government or our populace, and therefore ethical policies should always be followed. Thank you.